hiding in a bush here. Today we are going to play and talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And we're going to talk about whether it's worth buying or not. In the short, I'm going to say, in my opinion, yes, it is worth buying. But I will also say I did get it for about $27 during the holiday season. So my purchase was definitely worth it. I'm currently about maybe 20 hours in. Haven't progressed the main story too much. We're going to stay away from the main story today. We're going to do a side mission just to kind of get a little feel of what the game is like. I don't want to spoil anything for any of you guys, so there will be no spoilers, so don't worry. First things first, this year has been absolutely packed with games, from God of War to Celeste to Red Dead Redemption 2. There's been blockbusters just about almost every month. You got Smash that just came out. So many things. It's been absolutely ridiculous. I got my hands on some older games that I was late to. I finally got a Switch this year, so I was able to play Legend of Zelda, get on some older games there, played a little bit of Mario Party, and I've been playing a lot of indies there too, like Celeste, Dead Cells, stuff like that. So my year has been super packed with games, and I am just now getting to Assassin's Creed Odyssey a few months after release, and I will say I'm enjoying myself. It is not the prettiest game. You get spoiled by stuff like God of War, and even Red Dead is pretty much on par with this world. It's a little bit nicer. The HDR is prettier here. Well, their lack of HDR, and Red Dead Redemption 2 would be the reason for that. But I would say the graphics are pretty much on par, and the character models are not equal, but equally as okay, and sometimes bad at times with Rockstar's Red Dead and the rest of their games. The gameplay itself is decent. It's not your typical Assassin's game, and I'm sure if you played any of the previous Assassin's games and you know any of the fans who have been paying attention, a lot of old Assassin's fans are not happy with this game because it's not really Assassin-like. There is Assassin elements, but they kind of lean more towards being like a Spartan or a warrior. We'll get a little bit into that, into the gameplay in a little bit. I'm going to start a mission.
Well, aren't you something nice to look at? I'm Odessa.
You can see the
as in
graphics aren't the prettiest, but they're not terrible either.
I'd enjoy the sight of you a lot more if I wasn't tired
Ubisoft
of taking care of my sick
graphics.
father.
Ubisoft animation, all that. Doesn't look like there was anything that was mocapped from what I can tell. Let's see. You're good looking too. Why not? Let's flirt a little bit.
People, but you're one of
Damn,
the most
girl.
beautiful I've ever met.
Is that so? You're a welcome distraction from my problems.
So the voice acting is fairly decent. Cassandra is a really cool character, and I'm really digging her. And I will say, the main thing that's dragged me back to this game is the main story. I've been lucky enough to go this long without getting anything spoiled yet, so fingers crossed that doesn't happen before I finish it. But the main story so far is pretty intriguing, pretty engaging, and out of everything, that's what keeps me coming back, climbing back into this adventure, is wanting to know what's going to happen next. So I will say that that's my biggest pull. So if you're into story-driven games, this is a pretty decent one so far. Can't really tell you. Like I said, I'm only about 20 hours in. It could be terrible from here on out. It could be amazing from here on out. I don't know.
If you
So
have
let's
time, maybe
get more
we
into
could
this.
get to know each other a little better.
Tell me more.
Well, I can think of a few things, but let's talk some more first.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So how about it?
You know, I'd love to, but I have a couple of things I need to pick up for my father first. If you helped me, then we could maybe continue our conversation.
Don't worry, I'm here to help. What do you need?
A few herbs from the Valley of King Lelech nearby. Also need a mixture from the market to combine with the herbs. There's a merchant there holding on to it for me.
Is your father really so sick you can't get them yourself?
I'm his only child. I'd rather be close by, in case he gets worse.
Alrighty,
Stay by
let's
your
start it
father.
up.
I'll be back with the herbs and the mixture.
So this is just a side mission. A lot of the side missions have been pretty decent so far, and I don't mind doing them, but I continually finding myself having to do them because the main story, one of my only gripes with the game, the main story seems to be leveling way faster than me, and I can't keep up with it. I don't know if I'm just plowing through stuff too fast, but like I said, the main story is my main draw, so I keep going back to it, but I constantly am finding myself being a few levels lower than the enemies in the main story mission. I don't think I've been at the same level. For example, yesterday I unlocked the next story mission and I was about level 12, or I think it was about level 12, and the mission I unlocked for the main story was 17. So, needless to say, I didn't even go after that. I just kind of... that was ugly. Shading there. I didn't even go after that. I just kind of went and grinded some stuff out, grinded some side missions and stuff like that. Well, so yeah, after playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and just being so immersed in that world and so stuck on everything being super duper realistic, this is a breath of fresh air. So if that game wasn't for you and you are into action adventure games, you thought you were gonna like that game, maybe this game might be for you. I will say I did like Red Dead Redemption 2 a lot, but there was a lot of stuff that I did not like with it, and I kept finding itself just conflicting itself whether it wanted to be video gamey or whether it wanted to be super realistic. And I like, you know, my video games to feel like video games every once in a while. I don't mind having a you know, like real life simulator when I'm in the mood for it, but this game is super video gamey. I can take my horse and I can climb up almost any incline, and I can climb down almost any incline. I can jump off a cliff and my horse is gonna not survive, but I can whistle for it 30 seconds later and it's gonna come right back. So it's not as much of a pain in the ass like Red Dead was with that. And like I said, it's a nice breath of fresh air. If you're finding yourself becoming frustrated with that game, this is the complete opposite. I can whistle for my horse anywhere, it's gonna come to me. I don't have to eat, I don't have to drink. I just do what I want when I want, and it's great. It makes traveling a hell of a lot easier, especially because this map is absolutely huge. As you can see, I can just hop down here, no problem. This map is huge though. And there's a lot of content for your $60 if you pay for full price, but I will say, look out because there are deals all over the place for $30. Like I said, I got mine for $27, but I keep seeing deals, and I've seen them before, after Christmas, the entire holiday season for $30. So check your Amazons, check your Best Buys, stuff like that. Keep your eye out. Slickdeals.net is a great place to look. Got a lot of good deals on that website so far. So I just jumped over the wall, whistle for my horse, and bam, there it is. But yeah, you should be able to get this for $30. And that $30 price point, I would say it's more than worth it if you like action adventure games, because there's just so much to do in here. You could run over people in town, check it out. You do have to run slow like Red Dead, but you can run over people. Look, right in front of a guard. They don't give a shit. Nobody gets in trouble. You don't have people chasing after you, wanting to kill you. At least right now. Let's see. I'm going. I hope I highlighted the right quest here. I might have screwed us here. Yeah. What quest was that? I think that this was the quest I was supposed to be doing, and I went to a totally different quest. I had something else highlighted, so that is a pain in the ass. That is a pain in the ass. So you see, I just picked up a quest, which is not so bad. Because you're gonna be running into people, you're gonna be talking to people, and you don't. If you're going to a quest already, you don't want that to interfere. Like if you actually want to stop and talk to someone, and you have a quest open already, you don't want that to interfere with your quest. You can do that, which is kind of cool. But it also kind of sucks because I've done this quite a few times already. Every time you get a new quest, if you don't hold down the options button or hold down the start button right away to track that quest, you have to go into the menu here. go to quests, cycle through all this crap, and find which one you just accepted. Most of the time, it's the one that's closest to you. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass to find, sometimes it's not. So it's just a matter of remembering to press the option button or the start button, hold that down as soon as you start a quest to track it. It's a pain in the butt. Hopefully it's something I'll get used to. I'm 20 hours in and I'm not used to it. I'm not used to a lot of the menu here though, because I've been switching back and forth between this, Smash, Red Dead, and some other games, some indies and stuff, so I've not got a firm grasp on at least the menu system. The controls, no problem. Controls are very simple. So let's get my horse back. Nope, still on the other side of the wall. I like to look behind me and then whistle for my horse. And then usually my horse appears in front of me. Like that. Little trick. So what did we go over? Graphics. Combat's okay. Story is good. HDR is okay. Voice acting is okay. Cassandra is a little bit better than most. Some NPCs are pretty good, and some NPCs are really bad. Some character models are decent, and some character models are really bad. But when I first started the game, the knees on one of the characters in the beginning looked absolutely horrendous. It was really scary looking, and it was really bad first impression. It put a bad taste in my mouth in the beginning, so don't let that throw you off. It does get better. Just hang in there for a little bit, but you'll probably notice it as well as I did. If you do get this game, there are some scary looking knees on a character in the beginning of the game. But yeah, you couldn't do this in Red Dead, and it's nice. I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with my video game feeling like a video game. Except for when I can't get across the wall. That's okay. It's actually not too bad. This is a pain in the ass. I can climb up here. But right here I can't climb. Straight up. Oh, now I can. I get jammed up on a lot of obstacles when I'm trying to run away from enemies. That happens every once in a while. The attention to detail isn't always there. So you will get caught up or won't be able to climb a wall that should be climbable, which if you step to the left maybe 2 feet and it's exactly the same incline, exactly the same material, you can climb it. It's really weird sometimes. It's not all too buggy. I haven't ran into too many buggy things. I've ran into a few bugs where like character models have got sucked underneath the map, like half their body sucked underneath the map. Or last night I shot, you could shoot like a slow motion arrow that does more damage, and you could actually guide the arrow where you want it to go. I was guiding it right to a guy's head, and they didn't sidestep out of the way. They just kind of teleported to the side, and my shot completely missed them. Oh, there's a... That felt like a Red Dead moment for a second. The water was actually too deep. Your horse doesn't swim, so the water was too deep for him to swim, and I ejected from the horse. So that's where we did start the mission. We would have been well into it by now already. This is part of this new game. It's calling your eagle here to search for things for you. You can use the track things, track enemies, mark enemies, which is kind of cool. It's a typical Ubisoft thing. I feel like a lot of the Ubisoft mechanics are there. I mean, Ubisoft is always going to be Ubisoft. I feel like a lot of their games are very similar. They're just different, maybe a little bit different gameplay, definitely different time period, different genre maybe. But a lot of their mechanics stay the same. And this is one of them. So I'm actually not even sure what we're supposed to be doing. I guess I'm picking ingredients for something.
Those are the herbs Odyssey needs.
Some more herbs here. I'm trying not to get attacked by this wolf, but I'm pretty sure it just saw me. So I'll just take a couple swipes at it. So, going back to the combat, A lot of people's main gripe with this game is that it doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game, and it doesn't feel like an assassin game at all. And it does here and there, but not as much. I've played 1 and 2, not as much as the older games. I guess I can't really talk too much towards that. Like I said, I've only played 1 and 2 before. I haven't played absolutely a lick of Assassin's Creed since. I was a little late to that game though, so it wasn't all too long ago when I did play Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. It wasn't that long ago at all. I bought I think they did, it was a remastered edition on PC or something. Don't remember, but I did play them. I want to say last gen, within the last 5 years, I want to say I played them. And they had better assassin elements. This one, you feel more of like a Spartan, like a warrior, I guess, which makes sense. I think if they were to rebranded this game as something totally different, as opposed to Assassin's Creed, and just got rid of the Animus portion of the story, that it probably would have been better received. If they just made this a Spartan game, it would have been awesome. But I mean, Ubisoft knows what they're doing. They know the name Assassin's Creed is gonna just bring in buyers no matter what, bring in fans no matter what. So
That merchant should be
they
the
stuck
one
with
Odessa
it.
mentioned.
Let's talk to this
Tell
guy.
your friends, tell your family. The best wares drachmi can buy. Even mercenaries like you can find something.
Odessa sent me.
Ah, of course. Sweet girl. I wish she had stopped by herself. This is for her father, I imagine? I'll take the payment and you can be on your way.
Alrighty. I'll just
Here,
pay him.
take
I
it.
could really care
Quick
less.
sales are my
I try to be
favorites.
a good person in this game. It does have those options of whether you want to be a bad guy or a good guy, but so far I haven't really seen anything to where that really affects the gameplay or outcome so far. You are able to kill like leaders of cities, so I don't know how that affects gameplays, but I have killed a couple already, just for the hell of it, just for the XP and cash and rewards and stuff. But I really don't know if that affects things or not, story-wise, gameplay-wise, quest-wise, or what. So, in conclusion, I would say this game is actually, I would say, is probably worth the $60 if you're really into action adventure games. Try to get it for 30. It's definitely worth the 30. They're coming out with DLC that's already dropped. They're constantly coming out with new outfits, updates. They're really listening to the community. They're really sticking by, keeping this game going. Because I know they said I think they're going to take another year off after this game, and just provide this game with updates. So if you want something that's going to last you a while, this will definitely last you a while. I don't know what I'm about to fight. I don't know if a chicken just popped out of me or something. But you can see this. I'm only 20 hours in, and this is what I've unlocked of the map so far. You start off on this little island here, and I've only unlocked this much. There's so much. This map is huge. Yeah, a lot of it is water, but a lot of it is land too, and there's stuff to do on the water. There's stuff under the water, shipwrecks and some other stuff. And they are, from what I've heard, for the DLC, they aren't adding onto the map, but they are adding locations to the pre-existing map. So if it's an island that was empty before, they might be adding some stuff to it. But I'm not sure if that's paid or not. That's something to look into. So yeah, definitely not a must-buy if you have other stuff. Oh, it's a fucking chicken. The chicken is fighting me. What is going on? Am I supposed to fight this guy? Hold on, hold that thought. Let me just wreck this guy. I'm poisoned. Carry that. Heal up a little bit. Drop this guy. Like I was saying, I would say this game is worth the money. Is it a must-buy? I don't think so. if you're an Assassin's Creed fan previously, I would say go into this game with an open mind. Don't expect it to be an assassin game. Expect it to be a decent game. A decent Spartan game, a decent Greek game. It's got a lot of really cool stories and a lot of cool mythology. I don't know how deep it goes, but I've heard some of the stuff in here goes pretty deep, and it's really interesting if you're into Greek mythology, especially. So yeah, keep an eye out. Like I said, keep an eye out for deals. And go pick it up if this is what you're looking for. If Red Dead wasn't your thing, it's just too much micromanaging or too realistic. This will definitely be your game if you're into action adventure or anything like this, or into story-driven games. Definitely worth it. Go check it out. I'm gonna finish this mission here, and then I'm gonna jump over.
Okay? You did get them.
On
didn't you?
another
That's what you're
stream
worried about?
and do some of the main
just
story. I
attacked.
just don't want to do the
Surely
main
you
story
should be
here and
used to
spoil
that by now.
anything. So we'll
Random
finish
bandits
this up.
litter these lands. What did that letter you were reading say?
Apparently, you've been causing some problems for Megaris.
How could you say such a thing?
This letter is saying it. This wasn't a random attack.
Megaris deserves everything it's gotten. I'm the victim here.
The leader doesn't think so.
I could have died without making a name for myself. I'd never be worth anything at all.
People tried to kill me because of
Oops.
you, but you're only thinking about yourself.
You can handle it. There was never any true risk.
Now what?
This guy's a
Clearly, there's
bitch.
more going on here than you first told me.
I didn't think you'd be drawn into it. But now that you are, I can prove to you that I'm the victim.
Good.
Prove it, bitch. Alright, so that's that. If you guys want to join on in the rest of the story, I actually might do her quest, the rest of her quest next, since she's right there, and maybe I can get to level 17 before I get back to the main story, but I'll be playing this. If you hop on and you start playing and you like it, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think, and like, subscribe, I'll see you guys later.